Hey everybody, I'm a little bit late today again. Something came up this morning, but I'm here talking about chapter 5 of the Era of the True Creator. And there are 2 chapters left to go through after this one. Chapter 5 is Oneness through Harmonization. And I've bookmarked a couple different pages. Let's see if I can just do this without that. So Oneness through Harmonization. And this was such a cool chapter for me to write, for me to receive information about. It was quite revelatory, actually, quite interesting for me to start to understand the concept of oneness, to integrate it into my being, to really bring in the energy of it, and also to understand some of the misconceptions that we have around oneness, to get more clear on that, to bring myself to a greater understanding of it in general, and then to be able to bring that to you. So what I'm going to do is read the beginning of this chapter. And if you have the book, follow along. And if not, I put the link on how to get the book on Amazon. So you can do that. So Oneness through Harmonization. I've been introducing each of these chapters. And as you can see, there's a symbol at the beginning of each chapter. And that is really meant to help integrate the concepts of the chapter into your life through meditating on the symbol. That's the intention. So, Oneness through Harmonization. The beginning of the chapter has this little poem. I'll read it to you. Our coming together is our symphony, and the melding of our individual frequencies is the alchemy of heaven and earth. Oneness is our inherent nature. It is who we are on a fundamental level as fractals of the all that is. Yet the divine concept of oneness has many people confused. There are some who may mistake this oneness for group identification or belonging to a tribe or a collective of spiritual people. For others, there may be a misconception that coming together as one will mean a loss of individuality and unique expression. But both of these avenues of thought are mental conceptions, and so are limiting and steeped in dualism. The truth of oneness dwells within the heart space. Oneness is not a process of losing ourselves. Instead, it is an energetic convergence, a coming together of all the unique individual energies of each being, both on the planet and interdimensionally, in a state of joyful harmony. It may be surprising, this part is so key, it gives me chills to read it. It may be surprising, but for this harmonic frequency to occur, we need to be distinctly individual, though perhaps not in the way we have been before. Harmonization on this level requires each of us to let go of the egoic expression of self and ascend to higher self expression, a state of being which is beyond our mentally generated personality and instead embodies our individual divine frequency. So I'll stop there for that part. That was a big revelation for me, and I actually received the revelation on that as I was writing it. So it was really profound that we need to be distinctly individual moving forward in order to come together in oneness. And the individuality that we're bringing is an expression of our higher self. Our higher self is still very, very individual. It's still very unique, but it vibrates at a frequency that easily connects to others because it doesn't have the egoic level of expression. So the egoic level of expression is where we tend to get the fearful providing for ourselves, the need to fearfully protect ourselves. And in the higher self-expression, we still have an individual unique frequency, but it starts with the frequency and then comes down into physicality. And really, we've been talking about that throughout the whole book, that we start now as we're developing into the higher dimensions, as we're coming to understand the higher dimensions, we start with the frequency and then bring that down. So before I do these videos, I'm always checking in and meditating and trying to bring my cleanest frequency, because though I'm in a physical body and it may matter the words that I say, the words that you hear, really what it comes down to is what frequency am I bringing? And if I can bring my cleanest frequency, then I automatically have a greater chance of coming into a clean, harmonic alignment with all those that I come in contact with. Because when we're at a pure frequency, when we're vibrating at a pure frequency, we're not putting out something that's going to hit people in a conflicted way. And they need to also respond in turn, but really it doesn't matter what they're putting out, so we can have one person that's in perfect harmonic frequency. And let me retract that. When I say perfect, what I mean is clean and clear frequency and resonant frequency, without shadow work getting in the way, without things from our past really attached to us. If we can bring that, then whatever somebody else brings to us is only going to resonate with that pure frequency. And it shifts the entire room. It shifts everyone that we come in contact with, because it automatically sort of magnetizes to that perfectly resonant frequency within them, which we all carry. We all carry this pure frequency. And of course, as I always say, there's nothing wrong with showing up with, some stuff going on. It's really important that we know that we're able to have this human experience, that we're able to bring ourselves however we are, and to not think that we need to fake it, and to not think that we need to show up and pretend like we're doing okay. But it's really not necessarily connected to the emotions. We can have a day where we're sort of in a bad mood, but we're tuning into our resonant frequency, and we're really going to be putting off some very good energy, which is our service to others. So that was a long explanation. I wanted to read this next part too, which really talks about what I was just trying to explain. And it's on page 50. Remember that all physical reality begins with a vibration and not the other way around. We are getting ahead of ourselves if we attempt to think our way into connecting with others in love and oneness, as opposed to experiencing the energy of peace and unification within our being, and then letting that experience guide our actions. A mental push towards oneness often leads to people-pleasing or a lack of boundaries, which can leave us feeling lost and incongruent with ourselves as we sacrifice our personal life path for a connection with or approval from others. Getting caught up in the martyrdom or victim mentality of suffering for others empathically is also not the path to oneness, for the liberation of the higher frequency planes is lost when we collaborate in our perceived sufferings. Both of these avenues distract and divert us from bringing our energetic vibration that we are meant to bring. We need to sing our individual part with joy and passion to create a high vibrational harmony. This means being dedicated to focusing on our own divine resonance and living our individual life purpose while maintaining an open heart. I think that describes it a lot better than that 10-minute monologue that I expressed a minute ago. I think that is a much clearer representation of what I'm trying to convey, which is really that when we bring our purest frequency, we are really transforming all of life, and we are connecting in a harmonic way. If we're trying to think our way into this connection with others, if we're trying to people please our way into it, if we're trying to empathically run someone else's energy through our body as a way to save them, that's also out of alignment. So there's a lot of really good information in this chapter. Again, the era of the true creator. And I said this during the last video, I'm going to keep saying it. I know that this book is going to be of huge benefit to a lot of people because it's been huge benefit to me. And so this is available on Amazon for purchase, but if you are unable to purchase it, just send me an email and I'll send you a copy. All right. Have a great day. Take care. Bye.